Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I got a video here where I wanted to showcase this lady, and there's so many of them that be on TikTok with it, right? And she divorced her husband. They had been married for 30 years. And I just want you to watch the progression of it, because I don't know the time span between the first clip and the last clip that she shows. But just watch the progression.
Here I am on my new bed, my princess bed. It's amazing. I feel like a different person already. I feel like I can do whatever I want, and I'm not responsible for anybody anymore but me. I don't know. Things aren't going that great. I just keep thinking about what it used to be like when things were good. And maybe all of this was my fault. Maybe I am a selfish, narcissistic. Maybe it's me. I don't know, but I'm kind of struggling. All that fake, all that happy. Oh, I'm doing so great. I think I was in shock. And now it's coming like into reality, and I don't know. I know this is just a separation, and there are a lot of worse things in the world than this. I don't know what my life's going to be like. I can't seem to remember anything bad. I just remember all the good things. I did it. Here I am.
And so that was real quick. That was a quick progression. And she said a couple of key things in this video. She said, one of the first things she said is, I feel it's like I'm free and I'm not responsible for anybody else but me. And then she said, I'm on my new bed, my princess bed. Okay, before I get to the next part of all of the other things that she was saying, that right there is, in a nutshell, what those chicks be thinking about when they be in them long marriages, and all that they can do is think about not even necessarily what they may have missed out on, but they don't remember their life before there was a husband in it and maybe children. And instead of that being a good thing, instead of that being something to be thankful about and something to be grateful for and something to be, not only, what I'm saying, but grateful to God, grateful to your husband, just grateful in general that you were able to even have a marriage for that long. And obviously, nothing egregious was going on in that marriage, because as the progression goes on, then she's rethinking it. I can only remember the good. I can't remember the bad. So all of the things that she was complaining about in the marriage, all of the things that she kept thinking about, wasn't this and wasn't that, and this wasn't good enough, and that was getting on her nerve, and this was annoying, and this thing was annoying about him, and that thing she didn't like about him, and all of these various small things that she was focusing on. She was focusing on his shortcomings. She was focusing on, what I'm saying, all of the nitpicky things. She was focusing on all of the, the personality quirks and, things that people have. And instead of taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture and saying, okay, yeah, what I'm saying, but he had these quirks the whole time I know him. And it was at one point I thought the quirks was cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought everything was cute. So now that we have gone over 3 decades And now that new factor, that new, the brand new car smell has worn off on him. Now I can't think of anything, or I can't see him in a way that doesn't highlight whatever his faults and flaws might be. I can only think now of those flaws. I can't think about all of the good things that he has done, all of the sweet things, all of the sacrifices, all of the, you know what I'm saying? All of the times that, he took time out for me and things of that nature, not putting things into perspective, basically. And so you leave your husband and you strike out on your own. Several things begin to happen with chicks like this that break their marriages, right? And that go through with it, right? Go through with breaking their marriage up. So a couple of things happen. They get out and they experience the freedom. I'm gonna tell you what the freedom is. Their chaos no longer being under the structure of their husband's order anymore, which has a sense of freedom because you don't have to give an account of yourself to your husband anymore. This happens when he passes away as well. So from experience, there is this sense of, oh, okay, well, I can kind of, do some things, and I don't have to always ask permission, and I don't have to always, but speaking personally, and I know it's anecdotal, in that experience, even though I experienced that, it weighed heavier on me that the structure actually was not there. And the reason why is because the covering was gone. Like, I understood the value of the covering, and that was actually more valuable than any sense of freedom or any sense of, anything like that. But these women suffer from not understanding the value of their husband's covering versus what they think they will feel with this so-called new freedom that they acquire. So you break your family, you break your marriage, you break your husband. You in some cases, you probably do break your husband. And you go out there and the men are not paying attention to you like they were 30 years ago. Right? And that's going to be true whether you kept yourself up or not. Whether you stayed in shape, looking good or not, 30 years is 30 years. Okay? And you don't know how to act no more with men that aren't your husband. You don't know those men. You have no idea who those men are. You don't know who they are. They have no track record with you, no history with you. It's weird, for lack of a better term, like getting to know men after your husband. That's weird. It's weird. It's a weird thing. It's kind of weird because now you gotta like start from scratch. Like, wait a minute, because you be so used to the one man, you know what he gonna do. You know how to respond to him. You know what I'm saying? Whether you've been responding healthily or toxically, you've been responding the same way to the same man. If that makes sense. So that happens. Not the attention from the men that they thought they were going to get, which then leads to thinking about the man that they had. Now, all of a sudden, all of the things that you were nitpicking about, you can't seem to remember why it was so important. Now you can't seem to remember why it bothered you so much. Now that you think back on it, now that hindsight is 2020, now it's like, well, it was the little deal that it was in the beginning. Like, it didn't matter much. those flaws and all of those things, shortcomings and stuff, he likely had all of that when you met him. People don't change that much. Like their core personalities don't really change, and people's core personality flaws a lot of the times don't change either. So when you get with that person, you start encountering what those are. And then you make the determination in the beginning of the relationship, not 30 years later, you supposed to make the determination whether or not those flaws and shortcomings are something that you can consistently tolerate. And if you can't tolerate, if they're intolerable in the beginning, they're just going to be more intolerable later. You're never going to get used to them, and you're never going to like it. You're never going to like it. It's just going to get on your nerve more and more and more. But if those quirks or flaws wasn't that bothersome to you, it's like, okay, I don't really like that, but that's not a big deal. And it's not going to be a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Just, it is what it is. Then likely it maintains that status. It's not a big deal. She was nitpicking in her marriage. She was nitpicking with that man. Everything he did was annoying and dot, dot, dot. When the reality was, this, first of all, is the same shortcomings he been had. And second of all, if you just don't focus on them, it won't be that big of a deal. Make your focus be on the positive things about him and not the negative things. That's all you got to do is switch your perspective just a little bit to something positive, because you've been there 30 years. It's something you love about that man. Okay. And so therefore it goes from there. Now she's thinking about, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that bad. Now you miss him. And the last stage of that, you miss that covering. All of the things that you took for granted. See, this is what it all boils down to, taking people and situations for granted, right? Taking your husband for granted, taking that covering for granted, because it's so common. It's so on automatic that now you had even the time to focus on the so-called little things, to focus on the small flaws and the this and that. Like, you got time to focus on it because the marriage is so stable that your attention is not drawn to bigger, more important things that's happening. That you're comfortable. You comfortable. So now that you comfortable, now you can nitpick. Now everything annoys you. Like, get out of here. She was probably annoying the mess out of that man. And then had the audacity, you gonna leave him. And I'm gonna tell you the bonus round is if he moved on with another woman and seems happy. That be the kick in the teeth. That be the get you gotcha. When they leave thinking they doing something, then they take a look or even try to spin the block to their ex-husband and realize he don't want to spin the block with you. And sometimes he don't even got another woman. You left and now he feel free. You understand what I'm saying? Now he feel good about it. It's like, wait a minute. Oh, I ain't got to worry about her. Oh, I'm not having somebody on my neck every time. She on my biscuit every day with all of the nitpick arguments, the back and forth. I'm stressed out. Oh, I ain't really stressed out. Oh, okay. This is how I feel. You see what I'm saying? He might get back in the gym. You understand? Start doing stuff he really like to do. Next thing you know, you try to spin the block and he boop, 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 boop. You can't spin the block, ma'am. And don't let him have another woman that he be having fun with now. You know what I'm saying? She might look better than you. You understand what I'm saying? He's chilling. He relaxing. She ain't stressing him out. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute for him too, since he had a new chick. She might stress him out later, but she ain't stressing him out today. You understand what I'm saying? And he might still love you, but you did what you did. And now you got to stand on business. It's like Corey Hardrick and Tia Mowry. I'm pretty sure Corey still loves Tia. that don't really be going nowhere. When you really love people, you can be hurt by them and you cannot deal with them, but you can still love them. He loved Tia. You can't tell me he don't love Tia. Still to this day, right now. But she gonna stand on business because you left. You left. You got out of here. You know what I'm saying? I was sold this, that, and holding you back. Okay, fine. Now you out there. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it no more. Cause I tried talking to you, tried, you know what I'm saying, work it out, da 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 da. You didn't want it to be worked out. So you did what you said was best, and you boohooed and cried and stomped your feet and all that kind of stuff until you got what you wanted. You went and filed the paperwork, you went through with it. The divorce is final. So okay. Please don't spin the block. Please don't spin the block. We ain't gotta spin the block at all, ma'am. Mm-mm. You can stay out there where you want it to be. Oh, it's not fun? That sounds like a personal problem to me. And this woman running to the same thing. Thinking you doing something only to realize the error of your ways. And it'll be too late when you try to double back. Because that's why she's sad. Because she tried to call her ex-husband. She tried to do the reach back to the ex-husband. And he was like, no. Stay where you at. Stay. That's where you wanted to be with your princess bed. So stay over there. You made your princess bed. Now you gotta lay in it. What you calling me for? Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, the Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye bye, Crimsonites.